Tell me what y'all did with this yesterday.
IPS. Right.
I mean, I can't even guess what y'all did.
What is
I did the formula.
Find the molecular.
Okay.
I did NP. Oh.
I got a good call. All right, so what are you gonna do this thing?
I did like NRT equals on PB.
You did what?
That's what I did.
You did PV equals NRT?
Well, you got stripped.
I think that's the question I did know.
I think so.
Do you see anything about temperature and pressure in that? Okay.
Oh, that's the wrong one. That's one. It's STP. That's one.
Okay, there was one you would use PV equals NRT. Yes, this just wasn't it.
Okay.
Did the formula math.
You do need the formula mass, okay? So we would need to find the formula mass of that, yes. So how many N's are there?
Oh, I didn't see that too.
Okay, so there's 2 N's. How many H's are there? How many S's are there? And how many O's are there?
Miss Swan, I don't remember doing that question.
There was one. The only thing I did was change the compound.
Oh, okay.
I left the number the same. It was 3.25 moles of something. Okay? So, I changed the compound though. All right, how many N's are there? Or sorry, how was the mass of N?
14.
H,
1.
S, and O. Okay, that's going to be 64. That's going to be 32. That's going to be 8. That's going to be 28. So I'm going to need to add that together. At 82.
Oh, yeah. I didn't.
All right, so what are we going to do with the 82? What?
Convert it.
It's better. You look like you're having a rough day.
Well, I wouldn't have said you looked rough, but apparently you need to work on
This is
that.
like the first time I've done my hair since like Tuesday.
Work on that.
You would think Wednesday and Thursday you might have said it looked rough. I actually fixed my hair today.
Whew, work on that for Monday.
I guess. Tuesday.
All right, Tuesday.
Make
So-
a T-chart.
Make a T-chart. All right, so far I'm liking what y'all are telling me. So what did you do wrong in the
That's
test?
the stress.
Must have been the stress. What do we put on the top line of the T-chart? Okay. Maybe I punched in the wrong answer on my phone. All right, what goes on the bottom?
1 mole.
Okay, and what goes on the top?
The mass that we got from that.
All right, when we go over this next week, I need to check the answer on my phone. Maybe I put the wrong answer in on my phone. It's possible because y'all are giving me the right stuff.
How'd you get it?
Did I add it wrong?
Yeah.
28 plus 8 plus 32 plus 64. I got 132 that time. All right, so 132. All right, so 3.25 times 132. So 429 would have been the answer. All right, so everything y'all told me was correct. All right, so I need to double check that one next week when we go over it on my phone. Maybe I put the wrong answer in when I keyed the answer in. Well, let's hope it was my phone punching skills. Now, number 2, I know why you got wrong. It's a common error every year.
What is the name of NO2?
Now, I'm going to write the 2 names.
Manganese. Good.
Now, this is the answer that you guys all picked. And that is the wrong answer. Now, there is a stray couple of people who did what Ryan just yelled out and said manganese dioxide. Now, why can't I say dioxide? Why can't I use that? It's an ionic compound. All right, this is a metal. Manganese is a metal, and because it's a metal, no prefixes, so you can't use the di. That's why that answer was wrong. Now, why did you guys all get manganese 2 oxide wrong? It's been reduced. O has a -2, so there should be a 2 right there. It is not, so this formula was reduced, right? So you had to find the original formula. So 2 times that 1 would have been what? What's 2 times 1? And 2 times 2 is, so with the original formula was Mn2O4. So what number came from the Mn? Came a 4. So the correct answer is manganese 4 oxide. Some people did. There weren't many. Okay. So I believe on the exam it was lead 4 oxide. Okay. Questions? You will most likely, if you have to name something, get something that's been reduced on the exam. Okay. They get more bang for their buck. Questions about those two? If you will, find your notes. We're going to talk nuclear chemistry with the time we have left today in class. Now, nuclear chemistry is one of those topics that I save for the end every year because it's an easy topic. Actually, I have this typed. All right, it's an easy topic to do, and it's one that when you get it on the exam, you should be able to eliminate or get the answers right pretty easily. And if we had done this before you took the benchmark yesterday, most of you would have had no trouble answering the questions on the benchmark on nuclear chemistry. But unfortunately, we just hadn't gotten to it yet. All right, so anybody remember the 3 types of nuclear radiation from Earth science? Anybody were, huh? You should have talked about them in Earth science. We're going to talk about fission and fusion, but they're not the types of nuclear radiation. What? Gamma's 1.
Oh, gamma, X-ray?
Starts with an A and a B. Alpha and beta. Okay? The 3 types are alpha, beta, and gamma. Now, we're going to define what all 3 of these are, how to recognize them, and how to write nuclear equations with them in just a minute. Now, sometimes students will have talked about which ones are the strongest, the weakest, and even how to stop them. So, do you remember which one's the strongest and which one's the weakest? Yeah. Gamma's the which one? Yes. Okay, gamma's the strongest. So, that makes which one the weakest? No. Alpha's the weakest. Now, given that alpha is the weakest, how can an alpha particle be stopped? Anybody tell me? Anybody tell me how it can be stopped? You're using it right now. What are y'all using right now?
Lead.
Paper.
Carbon 12.
Let me try to write carbon 12 up here because that's yellow. Okay, here we stop by paper. Okay, y'all are using notebook paper. What is wrong with you over there making all that noise?
That pencil that Ira was using.
What's wrong with the pencil Hiro's using?
Right.
It's a perfectly good pencil. All right, it can be stopped by paper. It just looks like a carpenter's pencil. All right, what can stop beta radiation? All right, it can be stopped by aluminum foil. Now, if you're like me, chances are you have the cheap foil or the thin foil at the house. So you're going to need to fold it probably 6 or 8 times to make it thicker. If you buy that grilling foil, I'm just too cheap to buy grilling foil, you can probably fold it 3 times and be okay. All right, but if you buy the thin foil, you got to fold it several times to make it thicker. Now, what can stop gamma?
Mercury.
No.
Lead.
Yes. Okay. Concrete or lead. Either one will stop gamma. Okay? And I don't mean carbon 12 in your pencils either. I mean legit lead.
Lead.
Like the metal lead. Yes. All Okay? Like when you go to the dentist, and they put the vest across your chest and they do x-rays, lead vest.
Oh, so what is that? It's like the same in your mouth.
That's the film they use for the x-rays. Helps it show up on the scan. Did y'all kill Liliana today? Is she just that tired that she can't lift her head today?
So not me.
She learned it from Harold.
Good. All right, everybody got it? All right, so how are we going to tell the difference between the three types? All right, alpha radiation is just a helium nucleus. Now, all you have to do is remember which one is which. If you can remember which one is which, these are not hard to tell apart on the exam. Now, a helium nucleus. Helium has what symbol? Okay, so it's going to be an He. Now, the other parts of the symbol you can get off the periodic table. You just look them up if you forget them. It has a 4 and a 2. Now, is review for the exam. What does that 4 and 2 represent? Okay, this is the who again. That's the mass. And then the other thing you yelled out is the what? The number. Okay, so which one is which? What does that tell us then if that's the number? The protons. All right. And this tells us what? I heard somebody say it back there. I heard protons and I heard and neutrons. Okay, remember, it's not the electrons. The electrons are not given specifically by either number. We know the protons are the same as the what? Protons and the electrons are the same. But if on the exam it says the atomic number tells what? The atomic number tells what? Protons. Should you pick the answer that says and electrons? No. Okay? Now, it's a helium nucleus. So all it's giving us here is protons and neutrons. There's no electrons here. Everybody have what they need?
No.
There's not much to write here. Come on.
Okay.
You might have been caught up if you weren't making it from a high road. Now, beta radiation is an electron formed in the nucleus when a neutron breaks apart. Now, this is not an ordinary electron. All right, the electrons that we've talked about are in rings, Bohr's model, on energy levels, right? This is an electron formed where? In the nucleus. So, we're talking about a neutron that breaks apart into an electron. And, now remember, a neutron has what charge? It's no charge, right? It's neutral. So if a reaction starts out being neutral, it has to continue to be neutral, right? What charge does an electron have? Okay. So if I make a negative charge thing, I also have to make a what so that it stays neutral? A positive. So I make an electron and a what? A proton, which is positively charged. Now, this is the beta. This is just junk. Okay? You make a proton, but it's junk. It's not the beta particle. The electron is the beta particle. Okay? So a neutron breaks apart into an electron and a proton. That electron is the beta particle. The proton is just extra junk that comes along. Okay? So, what's the symbol that we always use for the electron? An E with a negative. Here, let me put it at the bottom. And what's the mass that we learned that an electron has? Anybody remember it from way back at the beginning of the semester? I hear it back there. Sarah, what'd you say? 0. It has no charge. It's so small, it's negative. I mean, it's negligible. Okay, remember we talked about going to the doctor? We all wear clothes. Every time we go, we have clothes on. The difference of the clothes we wear today and the clothes we wear next week, it's so small, it's negligible. So I'm going to have fun. Pay attention. Right? Mm-hmm. All right, everybody caught up? All right, so gamma radiation. Gamma is a high energy wave. Now, its symbol is the Greek symbol like that, or sometimes they just write gamma. You're what?
She got me sick.
No, because he wanted 4 by 3.
Well, that's his own stupidity.
But she didn't tell me she was sick. I had to ask before.
Did she tell you can have it?
Yeah.
Oh.
She doesn't give you tell.
All right, bro. Harold. He was right there.
Harold.
Yeah, we said the same.
When did you have it?
So now you're a doctor in Florida?
Well, I was just going to say, if you just had it like today or a couple hours ago, you're probably not sick yet. Now, if you come back to school Monday and feel bad, yes, you probably, or Tuesday, you probably did get sick from her. But just today, it's probably a little early yet.
You're not sitting no coughing on you.
All right.
Oh,
What? There's not that much there. Write faster.
I'm sorry. I actually want to understand.
It's not going to fit that pencil. Are you going to get it back to me, or am I giving it to you like forever?
Here.
Oh, you gotta keep
See, there you go. She made fun of you, but she helped you out. You might want to make sure you have his attention before you hurl the next time. I know, I thought he was looking at you too, but he clearly did not blink. You might want to make sure he's at least waving or something. Because he was not looking at you. You awake over there? Well, at least you have his attention now. All right. So let's say they ask you about the mass of an alpha particle. Based on what we just did, what would the mass of an alpha particle be? All right, let me say this. Let's say I write them here.
Four.
All right, so it would be a what?
4.
Okay. You and Brian both said it, Tevin. It's like two children fighting over a sandbox. All right. So, what is the charge on the radiation then? All right. +2. Why'd you say +2? It's protons. Very good. All right. Because it's in the nucleus, it's protons. So it's +2. Okay. Remember, helium is a nucleus, right? Alpha was a nucleus. So it's based on protons, so it's +2. Even if they're neutrons, what charge do neutrons have? Neutrons.
No.
They have no charge, right? They're neutral. So do they have any impact on the charge? No. So the +2 is correct, Tevin. I just wanted the reason why. Okay? So if I draw beta here, and if I ask you the mass on a beta particle, it's 0, because the mass on an electron is what? Irrelevant. It's negligible. Very good. All right, so what would be the charge on a beta particle? -1. All right, so what's the mass on a gamma particle?
Two.
0.
1.
Gamma
That's my thinking. I don't know.
is gamma.
Zero. Not applicable.
Doesn't have one because it's what?
This is just the whistling.
It's energy. So energy has no mass. Okay? I realize that's not exactly our curriculum. You're supposed to know that when you get to me. But energy has no mass. So if energy has no mass, will it have a charge? No. Okay, so gamma will not have a charge either. Okay, it has no mass, it has no charge. Does that make sense? All right. Now we're going to talk about balancing. I feel confident we can do this one because I bet you got this. I think this was on the benchmark. Bet you got this one right.
I'll sit it.
Just because y'all are smart and you can add.
Well, we
Answer
just have to
two
put like a coefficient,
as well.
Hmm?
a coefficient with an ounce or something like that.
Should have been little tiny numbers.
What's the answer two? Is that a balancing question?
Yes.
This opposite what?
Yeah, this one would have been like 218 or something like that.
Remember I got like 2, 2, 4. I think. No.
2, 4, 2. That was a 4, a 3, and a 2, I think.
Yeah. Unless I got 4 in front and 2 in the back. I forgot
Yeah.
2 in the middle.
If y'all got that one wrong, I'd have been really pissed.
I'm asking.
I'd have to look to see what number it was there. All right, everybody got what they want. All right, the next thing we're going to do is pretty easy. All right, alpha decay. And you had one of these, I don't remember if it was alpha or beta decay on the benchmark. All right, alpha decay is just the loss of an alpha particle. You are not going to be asked that definition at all. Okay? You will either, if they ask you this, it will be like yesterday's question. It will either have an equation or it will ask you how the atomic number or the atomic mass changes. It'll be one of these bottom three. Okay? Something in that range. So let's see if I have a real equation. So I'll have to make up some junk that doesn't make any sense. Who, me? I can make up junk. I just prefer not to.
Well, that's a particle.
Oh yeah, that's usually uranium-238. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah, that's explosive.
You can use uranium-235 too. Let's use that one. All right, suppose that you're asked to balance this or figure out what goes on that line. All right, most of you would have no trouble doing this, and I would bet if I looked back and figured out what question number it was, most of you probably got this question right on the benchmark. Like I said, because you're very bright. Now, when you look at this, what is the mass on the left side of the arrow? Based on the law of conservation of mass, we know the mass on the right side of the arrow still has to be what? 238. It's got to be the same thing. Well, what is the mass already on this side of the arrow? So this mass plus 4 has to equal what? So what number plus 4 will equal 238? 234. So we're going to put 234 right there. Now, same thing has to happen down here. What number plus 2 will give us 92? 90. So 90 plus 2 will give us 92. Now, which one of those two numbers identifies the element? The atomic mass or the atomic number? The bottom one, the atomic number. So you look at a periodic table, look to see who number 90 is up there on the periodic table, and it's TH, which is thorium. And so you write thorium there. Okay? And that's all there is to balancing a nuclear equation. That's it. That's why I said, a lot of you probably got this right yesterday on the exam. Now, how much did atomic number change? Atomic number started at what? 92, and it changed to what? 90. So alpha decay always decreases by 2, and the atomic mass did what? What did it do? Started at 238 and it went to what? It decreases by 4. Now, I'm pointing this out because alpha decay is the only one that always decreases. Beta decay is actually going to increase in one of them. Okay? But alpha decay's mass will always cause the particles to decrease when they decay. Their masses and their numbers always decrease. Everybody with me? Yes or no? Hyro's not. Liliana's not. Did y'all have a rough night last night?
Yeah, look, one.
What did they do? Sleep through the assembly? Y'all were in Zelman's class over there, sacked out beside Zelman?
I rose like this. He said, as soon as I was about to start recording, he said, bro, I was about to go to sleep. He was already asleep.
Who's that? Oh, well, you should have seen Zelman over there. He was snoring to beat the band, from what I understand.
I don't look.
All right. Just remember next year when y'all are down there and it's your turn and everybody behind you is bored senseless.
That class is lame, though. We're going to be up there tonight.
Yep, y'all will be just as boring as their class. And the class behind you will be saying the same thing. Now, beta decay. Same thing. Loss of a beta particle. Again, you don't need to know the definition, but that's what it is. Now, let's say this time, let's use carbon 14 for this one.
Carbon 14. Why not use carbon 12?
Right.
Because it's not going to radioactively decay.
What about carbon 13?
Well, carbon 13 could, but carbon 14 is more likely to. There's not a lot of carbon 13 on the planet. All right, so this one sometimes causes issues because people look up here and they do stupid, careless stuff really, really fast. Okay? So when you look at that one, the mass is really easy because what mass is already on the right? It's already got a 0, so what plus 0 gives you 14? It doesn't get any easier than that. Now, this is where people who are careless make dumb mistakes.
Is it like plus 7?
It's got a -1 there, right? So don't get careless and do something stupid with a -1. What minus 1 gives you 6? A 7. So just don't do careless stuff there and you'll be fine. So what element has a 7?
Nitrogen.
And then you got it. Now, how much does atomic number change by? Atomic number changed by what? It increases by 1. So that's the thing I wanted to point out. Beta decay increases, whereas alpha decay did what? Alpha decreased, beta decay did what? Increased. Atomic mass did what? Stayed the same. Okay? Stayed the same. Now, one last thing I want to point out before we practice something. If they asked you what kind of decay you had in this equation, would y'all be able to tell me what kind of decay you had in this equation?
Yes.
How would you know what kind of decay you had? How would you know it was beta?
It increased.
Listen to what Gabriel said. That right there tells you it's beta because it has a what in it? It has the electron in it. If I went back to here, you would know this was what kind of decay? Alpha because it has a what in it? Has a helium in it. You see how we made that connection? Does that make sense? So if they asked you what kind of decay, would you be okay with that? Yeah? All right. Let's practice real quick. And then we'll probably be close to out of time. I'm one of those, everybody. I'm one of those, everybody. Yes. Hand one out.
You gotta bust around.
I was going to return the Constitution, I use it. I can tell. Yeah. Listening hard. Alright, on the one that Eric has given you, I want you to balance the equations. On the one that Jennifer has given you, you're writing either A, B, or G based on the description. If it's an alpha description, write A. If it's beta, write B. If it's gamma, write G. Okay? This should be pretty quick. We should be able to go over them before the bell rings the home. 1:25. You got about 20 minutes.
Yay.
And that'll leave us Half-Life and Fission and Fusion on Monday. Both of them are pretty easy to do. And then
Is there's a,
Thursday. Thursday. Teacher maids are Tuesday, Wednesday. A day, B day is Thursday, and then Friday is the makeup day for A day, B day exams. But it'll be a regular bell schedule. The only day that'll shift the schedule is Thursday.
yours is a teacher, right?
Next week.
Well, in person, when the regular exams start, we don't even have to come to school.
Regular exams will be the following Monday.
Yo, oh, you gotta come to school Monday.
There you go. Don't have to come on Monday.
Oh, wait, it goes, no, wait, yeah, we do, bro. Yeah, we do. Is this 4:30? Dang,
It's 4, 3, 2, 1.
No!
Still gotta go to
I did, bro.
The exams are 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
So if you have don't have a fourth period exam, then that June 5th Monday, you don't have to come to school. But then the third period is on Tuesday.
No. Bro, let's go to the modified.
Then if you don't have a third period exam, you won't come on Tuesday. You guys will all be here on Wednesday, because that's mine. And then the first period exam is on Thursday. So if you don't have a first period exam, you won't come on Thursday. If you miss any exams, you come Friday the 9th, just the early dismissal day.
I got a question.
What?
Like, you know how we leave early?
That's only for the Friday. Now, you may all choose to leave early after the exams.
Yeah, but like, are you gonna count that? No, that.
I have to mark you absent.
Do they count it?
It does not count against you at that point.
Yes.
Now, up until next Friday, yes. Those of you who are in attendance trouble, I will be counting attendance for next Friday, yes.
So next week's the only week that actually counts.
Should I be on the view anymore?
So what?
After next week, it doesn't count?
After, it has traditionally not counted towards your attendance during the exam week. That is correct.
Wait, so I was.
So like next week on Thursday, when they do the AB day, NCFEs on Thursday, and they do the teacher-made tests on Tuesday, Wednesday, those are normal school days. So if you leave after a test or you don't come to class next Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, yes, you're absent. Now, on traditional exam days, which are June 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, that's not next week, the following week. Those are the days that they traditionally do not count your attendance against you if you don't stay after the 12:30. Okay?
2 weeks from now, right?
Yes, well, a week plus. A little more than a week. But it's not a full 2 weeks. Okay? So next week, those of you, and I've added up the time, I've got to change the minutes into days and see who still owes me time. I've got minutes added. I'll be able to tell you Tuesday. I've added up the minutes from the notebook. I've got to turn it into Ms. Glass, and then hopefully we'll be able to figure out how much time y'all have left. Some people are good. Some of you put time in the book like Liliana and Salma, but y'all owe me time. So you're not close to 8. So I don't plan to turn that time into Ms. Glass because you're not anywhere near 8. Okay? I mean, I can, but there's really no point. Tevin, you should be in that same boat also because you're not close to 8. Alicia, I don't think you're close to 8. So you are. I've got time for you and you. Pamela, I've got time added up for you, Jennifer.
Not me.
No, I think you might have one day written down.
I have none.
So after spring break,
But I'll have that for you on Monday so I can tell you. If you have access to Power School and you want to know what your average is, all grades through yesterday afternoon are in Power School. The only thing I have to put in is Selma's ACT boot camp card she just brought me during lunch, okay? Everything else is in. I'm not staying next week to do any makeup work. It is over. The only grades that I plan to take are openings that will go through next Friday, okay? I sincerely doubt that I will take the quiz grade next week. So odds are the only thing I have left to take will be openings on Friday. Bathroom passes, if you have any left, and there are several of you who do. Those will be added to the last test grade that we had. I will not add those until after class next Friday. So I don't add them and then you all decide, oh, I need to go to the bathroom this fall. I'm aware that that could still happen. So I will not add those until after next Friday. So those of you who still have bathroom passes, those are test points that will go on your final test grade next week. So those can still shift your averages. If you are somebody who still has boot camp things and you want credit for homework that you still got in your envelope or a quiz grade, and you are like Salma and you're like, hey, I just found this fall, can I use it? If you bring it to me by Tuesday, I'll put it in. Okay, if you lost it, can't find it, use it somewhere else, that's fine. But if you have it and you found it and want to use it in my class, bring it to me, I'll take care of it. Because that's not anything I've got to grade. That's a simple entry in the computer. Okay? But other than that, you can check your grades. They're done for this quarter. Okay? Last semester, I offered extra credit for those people who stayed after the exams for the review, for the 45 minutes roughly during the class periods. Most of you won't stay. So I don't believe you.
I stay with Miss Thornhill.
I will do it.
Wait, you said what?
You can stay out the
I
road.
will do it the Monday and the Tuesday after the fourth and the third period exam if you want to do it. I'll be here. I'm not staying after school, y'all won't stay. But I will be here after the exam on Monday and Tuesday, the 5th and the 6th. I'm here till 3:30. I don't mind offering bonus points for reviewing that Monday and that Tuesday if y'all are here. And I'll offer the same half point on the second quarter, not the final grade, the second quarter grade. Okay, and you gotta be here both days to get the points.
How many points do you get?
You'll get you a full point on your average. So if you're an 89 like Leandra is, bring you to a 90. It's your call. Or if you're a 59, raise you to a 60. It's your call.
Wait,
But-
for the, how much
for
for
the
the
quarter.
bathroom passes?
Bathroom pass is worth 5 points each on your test grade. So if you've got 3, and there are some people in here with 3, that'd be 15 points on your lowest test grade. But I would just put it on the last one because it doesn't matter which one they go on. Some people have none.
How many do I have? I have like two, I think.
Yeah, so that's 2.3.
Destiny's not here. Tevin, you have none. Alicia, you have none. Jennifer has 1. Salma, you have 2. Rebecca has 2. Eric has 2. Juliana has 2. Hema has 2. Liliana has 1. The rest of you have all of them.
Oh, yeah.
We got one almost.
Okay.
Missed it all.
So those will go on next Friday. So that will cause a shift in your grades to some extent. It won't be gigantic, but for some of you, it could be as many as 2 points.
2 for me.
Well, I mean, if you got a 42, it's not going to be gigantic. But, if you got a 85, you might see an 87 on it. So, but that's where we're at this point. Now, what's going to cause the biggest shift in your grade between now and the end?
That's fine.
The final. They can count 50% instead of 25. Again,
I'm at that station.
what you put in between Monday and the exam can be huge. We're going to review next week. If you come in and you're like the 2 people who keep napping or playing on my phone over there like Salma, are you going to get much out of the review? No, you're not.
That was just today.
That was just today. Okay, so you're going to be well rested then by Tuesday.
Sure.
We're going to review. Hopefully it will pay off and it will make some dividends for you
So we're
on the
gonna
exam. I'm only staying during school time the rest of the
Like
semester.
exam wise.
So when you see the exam schedule and it says we take the 4th period exam on Tuesday, or sorry, Monday,
You'll be
Will-
there Monday and Tuesday.
Yes, because after the fourth period exam, they'll probably say go to third period and second period, and then we'll go home. So after fourth period exam, when they say go to third period, during that time, I'll review with y'all during that second period block. And then on Tuesday, when they send us to the third period exam, y'all will be sent in the second, probably in first. I'll review during those 2 periods, and I'll offer review points. Y'all choose whether you choose to come to that. I don't care, I'm here. But I'm not saying after school review, I'm not doing any more makeup work, and I'm not doing time after school. So I'll be able to tell you Tuesday if you still owe time. If you owe time, what's your only option at this point? Saturday school. Remember, it's not this Saturday, it's next Saturday, because they moved it because of the holiday weekend. All right, so if we look at some of what you're not bothering to do. If you look at question 1, is not deflected by a magnetic field. Who would not move based on a magnetic field? Would you need to be a charged particle or not a charged particle?
Charged.
Let me ask you this. Is a magnet deflected by something that's charged or not charged? Magnets deflect something that's charged. And by deflected, I mean you're attracted. So let's say Hyro's a North Pole and I'm a South Pole. Have y'all ever played with magnets?
Yes.
If he's a North and I'm a South, what's going to happen?
We're gonna click.
We're going to click. We're going to stick together. If he's a North and I'm a North, what's going to happen?
We're gonna push.
We're going to push apart. Okay? So, if it's not deflected by a magnetic pole, means that it doesn't have a what?
Charge.
It doesn't have a charge. So which particle does not have a charge? Gamma does not have a charge. Okay? So that's the one you're going to have to pick there.
Just well, you just saved me.
Do I have a what?
You just saved me because I didn't know there was going to be no Saturday school this Saturday.
Yeah, there's no, they've been announcing it for the last few days. Yeah, let me find mine so I don't have to keep looking over Hyro's shoulder, irritating the snot out of me. Well, I might have to because I don't think I have one.
She said she knows.
I'll just get a blank one. That'll work.
She good.
All right, so number 2 is the weakest. Who's the weakest?
Hey.
Hey, alpha's the weakest. All right, when passed through a magnetic field, it is deflected towards the negative. Come on, board. Work with me here. All right, that's not what I wanted.
What should he doing?
I'm doing the one that's got,
Yeah,
I'm doing the one with the lines like this. We're gonna do that one too. All right, so you got 2 magnetic fields, right? And you got a particle, and it goes towards the negative. All right, who would go towards a negative? Would you be positive or would you be negative? In order to go towards a negative, think about this. Who attracts? Opposites or negatives? Opposites. Not opposites or negatives. Opposites are likes, sames. Opposites attracts, right? So if I go towards the negative, I have to have a positive charge. So which particle had a positive charge? Alpha was positive, right? So by the same answer then, just thinking ahead, who would go towards the positive? The negative charge, or beta would go towards the positive. So thinking about what we talked about just a minute ago, who would pass straight through and wouldn't be bothered at all? Gamma would go straight through and not be bothered at all because it's the one that doesn't have a charge. Does that make a little more sense? Yay or nay? Alicia, does that make sense to you? Yes or no? Okay, you're just staring at me, so that's why I'm asking you. All right. See, I just assume y'all know some things about charges from another class, but y'all may not really know that. All right, so number 4 is formed when a neutron breaks apart in the nucleus. Which one was the neutron? Came from the neutron. Which one, Sarah Ellie? Nope. Which one, Emma? Which one came from the neutron? Beta did. Beta was from the neutron. All right. When you pass through a magnetic field, it moves towards the positive pole. Who goes towards the positive, Rebecca? Beta. Gabriel, try not to be so condescending over there. Just don't be a pain in the butt then. Number 6, what's the most penetrating type of radiation, Liliana? Who's the most penetrating type of radiation? Yes. Who's a helium nucleus, Alicia? Alpha. All right. Which one's the electromagnetic wave? Tim. Which one is the electromagnetic wave? Gamma. Who can be stopped by a sheet of paper, Sarah Ellie? Alpha. Which one has 2 protons and 2 neutrons? Jennifer. Yep. Who is an electron, Trent? Yep. And who can pass through several centimeters of lead, Hema? Gamma. All right. What? 3 is goes towards the negative. Which one's going to go towards the negative? The one that's positive. So who's positive? Alpha. Alpha's positive. No. All right. So if we look at this one, have you tried anything on this one?
I already finished it.
Anybody else tried anything on this one?
I tried to
Have you tried anything?
I did. I did number 1 and 2.
All right, try a few more before we go to the Huh? Yes, parts of this were on the benchmark. You will probably see something about it on the exam. Try a couple before we go over something. Just sit still.
We got 3 minutes.
Then try a couple so we can go over it on Monday.
Oh, we already got the list 3 minutes. Oh my God.
Oh, our second period is that,
What is wrong? I'm going to miss you.
yes, okay.
Why?
I can't wait.
I'm gonna pop up.
Are you ready to get rid of
I'm ready to get rid of all of you. Throw who would beat the party.
Money for that Apple Watch.
My Apple Watch is old. It needs a new screen.
It's not that-
Just don't get that waterproof one.
No, that's a-
That upgrade.
Yeah. See if you can't do sometime between now and Tuesday, like 1 through 5, just so we can make sure you know how to do them.
Already did one.
If you're already done 1 through 5, great. If you haven't done 1 through 5, make sure you can do 1 through 5 by Tuesday.
You turn it as a homework grade?
I am not collecting it as a homework grade. I want you to hold it until Tuesday, because we're going to go over it on Tuesday. And we're going to learn how to do half-life and talk about fission and fusion. Then we're going to talk about the properties of acids and bases. Then we're going to hope for the best. And what we can squeeze in for acids and bases before we review for the exam. If you have a calculator, bring it up here. Because I have several that are missing.
Okay, both of y'all.
And then put your butts in the chair.
She said butts in a chair.
Yeah, butts in a chair. Oh, I'm sorry you had to sit so much today. Boring every year.
We're gonna call you up and teach you over here.
I'm not going to say a word.
Dress up? No?
Probably out of my outfit.
There's somebody back there.
Right there.
I don't want you to be I said yes for your wardrobe. I don't want you to be
Here, here's some. We're supposed to be drinking water.
I get water. Give me your.
You fell off the wax and the diet wax. Are you serious?
I was doing good for about 2 weeks, but I got
You eat your banana too?
This one says she's a lots of banana.
Not the type you're probably thinking, but.
The
You
yellow one?
potassium?
I mean, potassium.
No, the face you made, it was,
Yeah, a lot of people like
it was a weird face.
you know, you make weird faces all the time.
I don't like
I'm
that.
You say you
making
something out of
faces.
small.
Why are you always mimicking me? It's just annoying.
This is what I do.
You don't do it accurately, but it's
I
still,
can't.
it's still hilarious.
I can't do it. It's too high pitched.
Bro, it's almost the end of the school year, bro.
We got like 2 weeks.
Don't worry, he's gonna go in the military. Somebody's gonna have a good time with him while he's there.
I'm getting that stuff.
I did not mean that.
That's always makes me sick.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did not mean that way. I meant his drill sergeant was gonna have a good time taking on.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, man. That was a good laugh, bro.
There it is.
That's how we do it.
It's like so easy.
Hey, bro. I know you're gonna drop the salt.
This one, I'm gonna listen to. Forward, arms, forward march.
Yeah, I just have no questions, but thank you for letting me put through.
One word.
Thank you.